Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to begin with a simple but striking thought. Not all power makes noise. Some of the strongest power breathes quietly. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, there exists an extraordinary force, the silent woman. She may not raise her voice, she may not argue, she may not demand attention, yet she influences lives, shapes destinies, and transforms hearts with her calm strength. Today, let us explore the power of a silent woman. Silence is often misunderstood in today's world, where volume is mistaken for confidence and constant expression is confused with clarity. Yet the truth is that silence, especially in the heart and mind of a woman, is one of the greatest strengths she can possess. A silent woman is not silent because she lacks opinions, intelligence, or courage. She is silent because she has mastered the art of restraint. She understands that every situation does not require a reaction, every provocation does not deserve a response, and every moment is not meant for loud expression. Her silence is a reflection of her inner power, not her limitations. A silent woman carries within her a depth that words cannot always express. When people speak in haste, she listens with intention. When others rush to respond, she chooses to pause. This pause is her strength. It allows her to think clearly, evaluate situations wisely, and act from a place of intelligence rather than impulse. She knows that spoken words, once released, cannot be taken back. That is why she uses silence as a filter, a tool to avoid regret and maintain her dignity. Through her calmness, she communicates maturity, emotional strength, and a level of self-awareness that many aspire to but few truly possess. Her silence also shows emotional discipline. It takes tremendous inner strength to remain composed when emotions rise, to smile when the world expects anger, and to stay firm when negativity surrounds her. The silent woman has learned that reacting to everything is a sign of inner chaos, but choosing silence is a sign of inner control. She refuses to let external noise disturb her internal peace. This discipline does not come overnight. It is built through experience, pain, healing, and growth. Each time she chooses silence over unnecessary confrontation, she demonstrates her wisdom and resilience. In many situations, her silence speaks louder than words. When she is disrespected, silence becomes her boundary. When she is challenged, silence becomes her confidence. When she is underestimated, silence becomes her quiet preparation. She does not need to shout to show strength, nor does she need to argue to prove her worth. Her silence sends a message, one that says she is above pettiness, above conflict, and above the need for validation. She understands that her value is not determined by how loudly she speaks, but by how gracefully she carries herself. A silent woman's strength is also seen in her ability to observe. While others are busy expressing their opinions, she watches, analyzes, and understands the deeper truths behind people and situations. Her silence sharpens her intuition and allows her to see what others fail to notice. She becomes the person who reads emotions, deciphers intentions, and predicts outcomes not through loudness, but through awareness. This makes her wise, grounded, and spiritually aligned. People often seek her presence because her calmness acts as a stabilizer in environments filled with chaos. Her silence is not passive, it is purposeful. It is the silence of someone who knows her worth, someone who is confident in her abilities, someone who has no need to announce her greatness. It is the silence of a woman who leads through example rather than words, who influences through grace rather than noise, and who inspires through strength that does not need to be displayed loudly. This kind of silent power is rare, valuable, and unforgettable. In a world that celebrates noise, the silent woman stands out, not because she speaks less, but because she understands more. Her silence is her maturity, her protection, her confidence, and her power. It is the quiet fire that fuels her growth, the calm force that guides her decisions, and the unseen strength that defines her character. Choosing peace over drama is a sign of exceptional inner strength, and a silent woman embodies this quality with grace and wisdom. She understands that drama is loud, exhausting, and often unnecessary, while peace is quiet, powerful, and deeply fulfilling. Her choice to walk away from chaos is not a sign of weakness, but proof of her emotional intelligence. Instead of getting caught in arguments that lead nowhere, she values her mental well-being more than the temporary satisfaction of winning a conflict. She knows that peace is not something she waits for. It is something she creates through her responses, her restraint, and her maturity. A woman who chooses peace does not allow herself to be dragged into situations that disturb her balance. She knows that reacting instantly often comes from emotion, but responding thoughtfully comes from strength. She takes a deep breath when provoked, pauses when others push her buttons, and evaluates whether the issue even deserves her energy. This calm approach gives her power over the situation, rather than letting the situation have power over her. She understands that peace cannot exist in a mind full of chaos, so she protects her mind by refusing to participate in unnecessary drama. Her ability to choose peace reflects her clarity about what truly matters. She doesn't need to prove herself through arguments or loud behavior. Instead, she proves herself through her stability, reasoning, and composure. When others become emotional, she remains centered. When others raise their voice, she maintains her calm tone. When others try to provoke a reaction, she chooses silence, not because she cannot speak, but because she refuses to waste her words where they hold no value. Her calmness becomes her signature, something that silently commands respect even from those who misunderstand her. Choosing peace also requires a strong sense of self-worth. A woman who knows her value never entertains drama that tries to diminish her confidence. She walks away not because she cannot fight, but because she knows the fight is beneath her. She has learned through life that not every battle is worth engaging in, and not every comment deserves a response. She prioritizes her emotional health above the opinions and judgments of people who do not contribute to her growth. This selective engagement shows a level of self-respect that drama-filled individuals simply cannot understand. In relationships, both personal and professional, her peaceful nature becomes a stabilizing force. She listens more than she interrupts. She reflects more than she reacts, and she seeks solutions rather than spotlighting problems. Her presence brings calmness into discussions that might otherwise turn chaotic. People eventually learn that they cannot shake her easily because she is anchored by her inner peace, crafted carefully through experience, patience, and resilience. This ability to maintain peace makes her dependable, trustworthy, and admirable. Choosing peace is not avoidance, it is strategy. It is the wisdom to know when silence will achieve more than shouting. It is the maturity to let go of things that disturb her spirit. It is the power to protect her inner world even when the outer world is in conflict. She understands that dramatic reactions drain energy, but peaceful responses preserve it. With every situation she handles calmly, she strengthens her emotional muscles and becomes more grounded. A silent woman choosing peace is a force to be respected because it takes immense strength to rise above drama. While others create storms, she stands in stillness. While others scatter their energy, she guards hers. While others seek attention through chaos, she earns respect through serenity. This choice transforms her into a pillar of calm in a world overflowing with noise. Her peace is not only her power, it is her identity, her gift, and her quiet revolution against drama that seeks to steal joy from her life. A woman who observes deeply and understands more carries a kind of intelligence that cannot be taught in textbooks or measured by degrees. Her silence becomes her lens, allowing her to notice what others overlook. While people rush to speak, defend, argue, or justify, she takes a step back and watches. This simple habit of observing helps her grasp the truth beneath the surface, the emotions between the lines, and the intentions behind words. Observation becomes her power, giving her insight that many fail to develop because they are too busy expressing instead of understanding. She listens not just with her ears, but with her intuition. In conversations, she pays attention to tone, pauses, expressions, and energy. She sees sincerity where others see simplicity, and she detects manipulation where others see charm. Her silence helps her absorb the full picture, making her decisions wiser and more balanced. While others jump to conclusions, she collects details. While others react impulsively, she responds thoughtfully. This ability to understand more than what is spoken gives her a remarkable advantage in personal relationships, professional spaces, and everyday interactions. Her deep observation makes her emotionally intelligent. She senses when someone is hurting but hiding it, when tension rising but unspoken, and when an environment needs calmness rather than confrontation. She understands that not everyone knows how to communicate their feelings, so she interprets unspoken cues with patience and empathy. Her presence becomes comforting because people feel understood without having to overshare. This ability to connect on a deeper level makes her a natural guide, a silent support, and a source of strength to those around her. Understanding more also helps her avoid unnecessary conflicts. She can see the real reasons behind someone's anger, insecurity, or negative behavior. Instead of taking things personally, she observes the root cause. Her maturity allows her to separate her emotions from the situation, choosing clarity over chaos. This emotional separation is not detachment, it is wisdom. It allows her to remain centered even when others are losing control. Her comprehension protects her from reacting to illusions and helps her focus on what truly matters. In professional environments, her observational skills make her reliable and trustworthy. She notices patterns, identifies problems before they escalate, and understands team dynamics better than people who rely only on verbal communication. Because she studies situations quietly, she often discovers solutions that others fail to see. Her decisions come from careful reflection rather than pressure. She becomes the person who can be trusted during crises because she sees the full reality, not just the visible part. Her quiet awareness often delivers more impact than loud leadership. Her ability to understand more also strengthens her resilience. By observing life rather than rushing through it, she learns from every experience. She recognizes lessons in both pain and joy. She notices how people change, how situations evolve, and how emotions shift. This constant learning shapes her into someone who grows gracefully. She doesn't repeat the same mistakes because she studies them. She doesn't fall for the same traps because she observes patterns. She becomes wiser with time, not just older. A silent woman's depth is not accidental. It is cultivated through patience, empathy, awareness, and observation. While the world celebrates loud personalities, she holds the quiet power of understanding, a strength far more valuable and rare. Her ability to observe deeply enriches her relationships, enhances her decision-making, and strengthens her identity. She sees the world not just as it appears, but as it truly is. Her silence is not emptiness. It is her window to understanding life at a level others rarely reach. A woman whose actions speak louder than her words embodies a form of strength that commands respect without demanding it. She understands that words can be manipulated, exaggerated, or misunderstood. But actions reveal truth without needing explanation. Instead of announcing her intentions, she quietly commits to them. Instead of telling the world how strong she is, she shows it through her consistency, her resilience, and her discipline. She is not interested in impressing people with promises. She is focused on delivering results that speak on her behalf. Her silence becomes her credibility, and her actions become her voice. Such a woman knows the difference between noise and progress. While many individuals talk endlessly about their dreams, goals, and plan, she conserves her energy for the work itself. She understands that real growth happens in the background, in moments of solitude, in hours of silent effort when no one is watching. Her achievements are not the product of luck or chance, but of dedication that doesn't need an audience. She chooses to invest her time in building rather than boasting, in improving rather than competing, in rising rather than reacting. This mature approach makes her powerful without ever being loud. Her actions also reflect her character. She does not claim to be loyal, she proves it. She does not talk about her values, she lives by them. She does not promise respect, she offers it consistently. In relationships, she shows her care through understanding, patience, and sincerity, not through exaggerated words. In professional spaces, she demonstrates competence through reliability and performance, not through self-promotion. Her behavior reflects who she truly is, creating a trust that cannot be formed through speech alone. People learn that they can rely on her because she always follows through. A woman like this understands the importance of integrity. When she says she will do something, she does it. When she commits, she stays committed. Her actions are aligned with her beliefs, giving her a sense of authenticity that sets her apart. She does not engage in empty promises or try to please everyone with words. Instead, she focuses on delivering results that earn respect naturally. This integrity becomes her silent power, one that influences others not through persuasion but through example. Her ability to act with consistency makes her a leader even without holding a title. Her silence does not come from fear but from focus. She knows that talking about her moves may invite unnecessary opinions or distractions, so she prefers to work quietly. She keeps her goals private, her struggles invisible, and her progress humble. This does not make her secretive, it makes her wise. She allows time, effort, and discipline to be her spokespeople. When she achieves something, people admire not just the outcome, but the quiet perseverance behind it. Her success becomes meaningful because it was earned, not advertised. Moreover, her actions inspire more than her words ever could. People around her begin to notice her discipline, her calm determination, and her commitment to excellence. She becomes a model of strength for others. Someone who shows that greatness is not created through noise, but through effort. Her presence motivates without instruction, and her journey teaches without speech. She influences quietly, proving that leadership is not about commanding attention, but about earning respect. A silent woman whose actions speak carries a rare and admirable kind of power. She moves with purpose, works with intention, and grows with patience. She builds her life brick by brick, silently transforming her dreams into reality. Her strength is not measured by how loudly she talks about success, but by how deeply she invests in achieving it. She proves that in a world full of voices competing to be heard, the most powerful voice is often the one that doesn't need to speak at all. A woman who carries silence as her emotional power possesses a strength that is both graceful and profound. Her silence is not an absence of expression. It is a presence of control. It reflects mastery over her inner world, the ability to regulate emotions without being overtaken by them. When situations become overwhelming or people attempt to provoke her, she does not allow chaos to dictate her response. She understands that reacting impulsively often results in regret, while remaining composed preserves her dignity and clarity. Her silence becomes a shield that guards her from emotional turbulence and gives her the space to process her feelings with maturity. This emotional power does not come from suppressing feelings, but from understanding them. She allows herself to feel deeply, pain, joy, frustration, love, but she does not allow those feelings to spill out in ways that harm herself or others. She knows how to sit with her emotions, reflect on them, and choose the wisest path forward. Her silence gives her time to think, time to heal, and time to transform emotion into insight. This self-awareness makes her resilient because she is not controlled by anger or fear. She is guided by calm evaluation and inner wisdom. Even in moments of conflict, her silence becomes a source of strength. When someone expects her to lose control, she surprises them with composure. When the world pushes her to break, she stands firm, grounded in her ability to remain steady. Her refusal to react emotionally often disarms negativity, shifts the power dynamic, and prevents situations from escape. 18. People eventually learn that provoking her is pointless because she will not entertain chaos. Her silence becomes a quiet declaration that she values her peace too much to hand it over to someone else. Her emotional power also enhances her relationships. She listens before she speaks, understands before she judges, and reflects before she responds. This makes her reliable and emotionally safe to be around. Others feel respected because she gives them the space to express themselves without interruption. She does not rush to conclusions or react defensively. Her silence helps her understand perspectives, intentions, and emotions far beyond a spoken word. This ability creates deeper connections built on empathy and understanding rather than conflict and miscommunication. In challenging situations, her silence becomes her strategy. Instead of responding with anger, she withdraws into her thoughts, letting her calmness interpret the best possible solution. She knows that emotional reactions often complicate problems, but emotional intelligence helps solve them. Her silence allows her to rise above the heat of the moment and return with reason, clarity, and confidence. This makes her a stabilizing presence, someone who can navigate storms without panicking and make decisions without being clouded by temporary emotions. Her emotional power is also visible in the way she handles disappointment or betrayal. Instead of exploding or seeking revenge, she steps back into silence. This distance gives her strength to detach, heal, and move forward without bitterness. She does not allow another person's actions to poison her inner peace. Her silence becomes the boundary that protects her heart and redirects her focus to growth and renewal. She learns, adapts, and evolves, all without making noise about her pain. A silent woman who understands her emotions becomes almost unshakable. She does not crumble under pressure because she has built inner stability. She does not depend on external validation because she is aligned with her values. She does not get easily distracted because she is rooted in purpose. Her emotional power lies not in loud expression, but in quiet endurance, thoughtful reflection, and wise self-control. She is gentle but not fragile, calm but not passive, silent but not powerless. Her silence is the strength that guides her, protects her, and elevates her, making her a remarkable example of emotional mastery in a world governed by impulse. A woman whose presence commands respect without noise carries a unique and compelling strength that cannot be fabricated. Her power does not come from loud declarations or dramatic expressions. It emerges naturally from the way she carries herself. Calm, composed, and unquestionably confident. She does not need attention to feel valuable, nor does she chase validation from others. Instead, she focuses on her character, her integrity, and her quiet stability. This authenticity creates an aura around her, one that draws people in without her ever having to ask for recognition. Her silence becomes her signature, and her dignity becomes her influence. Her presence speaks for her long before her words do. People notice the way she listens carefully, the way she stands without arrogance, and the way she responds without haste. She radiates a sense of self-assurance that doesn't require explanation. In a world where so many feel the need to prove themselves constantly, her calm confidence becomes a breath of fresh air. She does not compete for the spotlight, yet the spotlight seems to naturally find her. Her respect is earned, not demanded, and that makes it far more meaningful and lasting. When she enters a room, she brings with her a quiet balance that others can feel. She does not disrupt energy, she elevates it. She does not fill space with noise, she fills it with purpose. Her presence alone reminds people to slow down, to think more clearly, to act more mindfully. This influence is not accidental. It is built through years of self-awareness, emotional maturity, and disciplined control. She has learned to carry herself with grace, even when faced with situations that challenge her patience or test her boundaries. This refined composure is what sets her apart from those who rely on volume to assert authority. Respect follows her because she respects herself. She knows her worth, not through compliments or external approval, but through the quiet confidence she has built from overcoming struggles, learning from mistakes, and growing through adversity. Her journey has shaped her into someone who does not need to raise her voice to be taken seriously. She understands that real power lies in knowing who you are and refusing to compromise your values for temporary acceptance. Her self-respect becomes a guide, directing her away from environments, people, and situations that do not align with her principles. Even in relationships, her presence influences more than her words. She shows love not through dramatic gestures, but through consistency, loyalty, and sincerity. She supports without controlling, guides without forcing, and strengthens without overshadowing. People trust her because she is steady, emotionally grounded, and spiritually centered. Her silence never feels distant, it feels comforting. It communicates understanding, patience, and depth. Those around her feel safe, heard, and valued. Not because she speaks the loudest, but because she understands the most. In professional environments, she becomes someone whose opinion is valued even before she expresses it. Her work ethic, her integrity, and her steady mindset create a reputation that sets her apart. She does not need to boast about what she can do. Her results consistently demonstrate her capability. Colleagues look to her during challenges because they know she will remain calm, think logically, and act with wisdom. Leadership comes to her naturally because her character inspires trust, and her silence communicates competence, not insecurity. Her presence commands respect because it reflects the inner world she has built, peaceful, disciplined, and unwavering. She has learned to detach from unnecessary chaos and stay focused on what truly matters. She does not let her emotions control her, nor does she let external noise disturb her balance. This level of control is rare, and people recognize it even without her speaking. Her silence becomes a quiet force that shifts atmospheres, influences minds, and earns admiration. A woman like this proves that true respect is not earned through noise, but through authenticity. Her presence alone is powerful because it carries the weight of her experiences, the strength of her character, and the beauty of her inner peace. She stands strong not because she is loud, but because she is sure of who she is, and that certainty makes her unforgettable. So, my dear friends, remember this: a silent woman is not unseen. She is simply focused. She is not unheard. She speaks through actions. She is not powerless. She is powerful beyond measure. Let us learn to respect her silence, to value her patience, and to appreciate the strength she hides behind her calm smile. Because sometimes the quietest woman in the room is the one who carries the loudest courage in her soul.